Hey, Keno,
What's up? What's up? What's up? We in the building. Is it
what's
Friday?
up? Hey, how are you doing? This is the Advocators. I'm JoJo,
I'm Keno Trice.
and before we get started, we're gonna have a word from our sponsors. Give people a chance to recognize we're actually moving right now.
Yeah.
Did you share this out?
I'm sharing it right now. Sharing it right now.
Keno,
What up? What up? What up? You got a little static in your line, man. What you doing over there?
beg your pardon?
A little static in your mic. A little static.
Mm, let's see here. Turn my mic up.
You
How's that
hot?
sound right there? A
Yeah, it's
little
better.
better?
Yeah, it's better.
A little less static?
Yeah. You crackling, man. I don't know if you eating Rice Krispies or
Hey,
you
that's the flavor in your ear.
or your line janky.
Here comes the brand. Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to the Advocators. You know what? There's a lot going on this week. I think we just need to get into it.
Yeah, real quick, I'm switching it up. You know, I usually drink dark, but I'm gonna do a little Patron, a little tequila today, a little tequila. So if I get off track, start talking a little crazy, it's the tequila.
You mean
Yeah.
when?
Oh,
It's like a motorcycle. It's like riding a motorcycle. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
yeah. Let's start now.
Right on. All right. So the first topic brought to us courtesy Mr. Trace
Yes, yes.
is about coming to America.
Coming to America too, man. I'm excited, nostalgic for all us old heads. It's been what 33 years since the first one came out, and you know that was when Eddie Murphy was in his prime. Everything Eddie Murphy touched was hot. So Coming to America was just one of those nostalgic, historic films. You ain't black if you ain't watched Coming to America. It's just one of those films that you must see. So the anticipation was huge. And for me, I was excited to see it because some of our hometown homies in there, Rodney Perry, Nav Green, shout out to both of them. They were in the movie. I'm a little disappointed. Facebook, you know, people coming on, it could have been better. It wasn't that good. It was trash. You looking at it from a 30-year lens, like you expect it to be like the first one. And that just ain't what it is. Eddie Murphy's not in his prime no more. They're giving some young cats
Oh,
time to shine. And
okay. Hold
go ahead.
on. Because Dolomite just came out. I'm going to let you finish what you said.
Yeah.
But Dolomite just came out. Dolomite was fire.
It was fire, but come on, Eddie's not in his prime no more. You know, he had that prime where he was the man. He's just not in his prime no more. And it wasn't even for that. It was opportunity for us older folks to get some nostalgic moments, but he let some of the young people and the people you hadn't seen kind of step up and get they chops. So that's usually what it's about, passing the torch. So I like what they call it rom coms, especially when it's slapstick. So this was a little slapstick. It wasn't the Eddie we saw 30 years ago, but I think it was still good, and I think people should give a chance. So basically, I'm saying I advocate for Coming to America too. I think everybody should see it. Um, another another situation where black people are doing great things and it's showing black people in a positive light. Ain't nobody selling no dope in the movie. Ain't nobody gang banging, pants
Wait.
sagging.
Nobody's selling dope and nobody's
Nobody,
gang banging. So this is
nobody
a
selling.
fictitious movie. This is all fiction.
hey man, we need to see this, man. This is close we can get to the Cosby Show. Ain't no more
I was
Cosby
just gonna
Show.
say this is another copy. By the way, yes, shout out to Rodney Perry. Can't wait to see you on that poker table again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll probably see you later on tonight. But stop telling this business. But coming to America, man, it's nice to see, Eddie, Arsenio, Rodney Perry, um, Lunell, um, man, just a bunch of comics in there that you recognize and some new and up and coming comics. So I think it was a good movie. Some of y'all black people ain't got nothing better to do. Y'all critique everything and think y'all experts, and y'all just, you got the Twitter fingers. So
What you mean you think they they are? They
they think
are.
that.
They're experts. They're experts in everything
Just
except
like
work.
just like Dave Chappelle said, they should have never gave y'all niggas money, should never gave y'all the internet. I tell you that.
Yeah, well,
Because people who didn't have a voice now, and everybody voices shouldn't be heard.
that much is so true. So true. So many people that should be muted on a daily basis. We had a president that should have been muted
Oh my
on a
God.
daily basis.
But the difference is people want to hear from him. He's the president. He has a base. He has people following. I understand why he's on the internet giving his opinion and his statements about whatever it is. But some people just need to stay in the dark.
Hey, but people want to hear from everybody.
That is true. I don't want to hear
People,
from everybody on my post.
say again.
I said I don't want to hear from everybody on my post. Some people are like, man, you should have just kept that. But anyway,
Well, we have a lot of common Facebook friends
yeah.
that personally, I don't understand why they find so many advocates for their point, but they do. I call it the David Koresh syndrome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why you got up Patty already? We ain't talking about Patty yet. Or are we?
Yeah, it was a technical difficulty.
Even the producer, man, where can we get good help these days?
Hey, man, I'm over here doing it all.
Uh,
Trying to load your pictures, load my pictures,
hey,
tell your story.
and I'm
Now you
lo-
want me to shut up.
I'm loading this Patron.
Right home. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I have been since I heard that it was coming out on Prime. In fact, I signed up for my free trial membership today so that I can watch Coming to America. And
And you
yeah,
really should get Amazon Prime. It is a great benefit to have. Saves you on
how?
shipping.
How is Amazon Prime a great benefit to have?
For one, you get to see Coming to America, and two, I
That's
mean,
trial.
you do a lot of running back and forth to the store. I'm telling you, get everything on Amazon delivered to your door. But I don't know about your neighborhood, man. They might.
Then yeah, have stuff delivered to my door. Then people know where I live. Then Amazon knows where I live. It's bad enough I have people calling me with accents I don't understand, trying to buy my house, sell me some car insurance,
Yeah,
car warranty. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, it's worth the money. I think Amazon Prime is like $100 a year or something. I think you should get it. Everybody should get it. If you're out in the store shopping, that's so 2017. We ain't doing that no more.
You sound ridiculous right now.
That's so pre-COVID. Like
That
who's going
is
to the store
absolutely
anymore?
ridiculous.
We got Amazon.
Having things delivered at my house. You know, over 42% of America is obese, and 50% of that is because of Amazon.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah, because
This is just it is a statistical fact. All of it except for the part about Amazon.
okay, I agree with that part. But the Amazon, it ain't got nothing to do. Fat people gonna be fat. They gonna get food whether it's Amazon or not.
It's not just about getting food. At least if you have to go to grocery store, you got to walk somewhere. Unless you live in my neighborhood and you just happen to be like 24 and black, then you just ride around in a little handicap cart.
Stupid.
I could show you pictures.
Hey, you know what? I will say America getting fat, man. I I went to Savannah to handle some business with a friend, and we went on a job site, and this place is full of black women, and some of these women were barely 35. I mean, on walkers, morbidly obese, sitting at their desk. Well, how you doing? Can I help you? I'm like, oh my god. They should cut your lunch out. You need to work a straight 8.
We've got too much going on. We have way too much. Look, I was in a hurry tonight, so I thought, okay, I'll make an exception on some food, run out to Wendy's right around the corner, grab something real quick. The line in the drive-through was all the way out to the street.
Yeah.
The door inside was locked, or to the inside, and then when I went uh, over to McDonald's because I was really hungry. I hate, regardless. Went to McDonald's, parking lot full.
Oh yeah. If Wendy's packed, Mickey D's gonna be packed. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
Everybody.
even drive over to Popeyes because that's a waste of time.
Oh yeah, you can hang that up in the
That's
black community. Any Popeyes, like we got a Popeyes that stay open in my neighborhood till like midnight. Cars out the
till midnight.
eating fried chicken at midnight.
Right.
You're gonna die a fast death.
Panola Road, that Popeyes, that's a
Get
45-minute wait.
oh yeah. Oh, all the Popeyes in the black community is a 45-minute wait, and then they be running out of chicken. Like that's all you do. How
And
you
that
run
was
out?
before the chicken sandwich.
How you run out of chicken? That's all you do. It says Popeye chicken. You should never run out of chicken. You should run out of fries. You run out of fries. You can run out of soda, but chicken. That's all
You
you
know,
do.
people crack a lot of jokes and people take a lot of offense, but the
Oh yeah.
evidence speaks for itself. When I worked at the Punchline, anytime Rodney Perry came or DC came, uh,
When the wing left in the kitchen, huh?
nope, nope. And I promise you, if they could, all the flats were gone
Uh,
before the drumsticks.
are you a flat or drum guy? I don't know that I really have a preference.
I don't have a preference. Give me what I ordered, make it tasty. Don't give me those little skimpy pieces of chicken. You say that for somebody who needs to eat less. I want the fat, juicy
Uh,
pieces of chicken.
said like a true American coon. But anyway,
Really? Really? Because I like chicken. Chicken is delicious.
chicken
You
is
can cook
delicious.
it in so many different ways.
Chicken is delicious. I do not disagree. Just don't eat in public around white folks. Anyway, I just before we go to the next story, I just want to say I went out and saw went out to a comedy club last night. Shout out to Sunshine, my homeboy Warwick Ray, and the other comedians that I saw. It felt good to get back out on the scene and watch live comedy. The place was hood as hell. I mean, they were smoking weed in the place, whatever. That's what you get when you go to the hood spots. But no other city is like Atlanta with the comedy. I just wanted to say that. Maybe they asked me did I want to get on stage. I said no. It's too much weed flowing in here, and I don't feel like telling dick jokes all night. So I'm gonna pass tonight. But next time I come to the hood, I'm getting on stage.
See, I wish I could go, but I can't because
Oh yeah,
I don't do drugs.
yeah. I don't do drugs either. They do me. Anyway, all right, we can go to the next story.
Next story. All right. So that would be Miss Patty LaBelle.
Pate.
What do we know about Patty?
Okay, so this I saw. This is actually kind of old. It's like a few years old, but it brought up an interesting thing. Patti LaBelle was dating her drummer. His name is Eric Seitz, and this was a few years ago. So Patty's pushing closer to 80, and dude is close to 50. So older men date younger women all the time, and women want to step into this realm of dating younger men. It's not as popular as the older men dating younger women, but what do you think about this? What do you think about older women? I know some guys like older women just their whole time dating, whether they're 20, she's 30 or 40 or whatever. Some men just like older women. Um,
So I feel like this is a setup. I feel like you're setting me up right here
no,
because I love an older woman.
see, I wasn't gonna tell your
Absolutely.
business. I wasn't gonna tell your business, but go ahead.
I love older women. I Since I've been in my 20s, I have had a great appreciation for the more experienced woman. Just life experience. And I have had an awesome pleasure in getting to know some very intelligent, very mature women who were wise and insightful. So I can see why a man would want to date somebody that's older, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Now, do you believe that in these situations that it's more likely that a woman of Patty's seasoning would be able to get somebody 30 years younger if she didn't have the money?
Yes,
You believe
yes,
so?
I do. I am not gonna lie. Uh, I was at Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles one day, and before I realized it was Gladys, she caught me checking her out.
Oh, sure. Gladys, Gladys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this was a little while ago, little while ago. But the point is, these women. Well, let me back up. If they didn't have the money, they'd probably have to take extra special care of themselves to look as good as they do at their age.
Okay.
But as long as they were able to do that, absolutely. I mean, I see women all the time, 24, 25, 30. I'm like, what's up with your grandma?
Hide your hide your mamas, hide your grandmas. There's a uh, there's a senior citizen predator on the loose.
It should be a t shirt.
The cougar killer is on the loose.
Cougar killer.
No,
Hey,
the
they've
saber
never
tooth slayer. That's what he is.
just say, hey, they never caught an easier prey.
Right, the saber tooth slayer. You better watch out, JoJo, out on these streets. you you know what? And I've been married a while, so I've been off the market. But my experience has been when you deal with older women, they be talking about stuff you don't care about, like the kids coming by, and I'm gonna fix dinner. I got some potatoes boiling on the stove now, and I'm gonna clean these greens. I don't be wanting to hear that shit. I don't know.
Hey,
Oh,
it's all about the woman. Has nothing to do with the age, because young women will talk about things I don't want to talk about either.
I mean, I get that. I get that. But the older women, talk about I gotta go pick up my prescription.
It-
The doctor said, my cataracts is coming in. I'm gonna need surgery. I don't want to have them conversations because that's too close to the grave for me.
you rather hear about Kanye and Kim?
Yeah, yeah. They got a lot of life to live.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
I want to
can't.
hear about
Mm-mm.
Kanye and Kim, not about Johnson and Brothers funeral home and how you got to go to 3 funerals next weekend. I don't want to hear that.
No, no. Well, I don't want to hear about funerals.
Right.
I give
You
you
ever get
that.
around you ever get around a group of older folks like your aunties and uncles, all they talk about is you seen such and such, his brother died last week. And and somebody like Patty, you gonna hear that. All Patty's friends is dying. Matter of fact, you might be her only friend she got left, and you don't want to be in that position. So um
It's a terrible thing to say. I'm sure Patty is a mentor and a mother figure to many people, and an
all Patty's
auntie.
homegirls is goddamn in that upper room.
You sound ridiculous.
You called Patty up. I thought you was out
You,
with your girls tonight. Well, she passed last week.
you didn't see that verses with Patty, Gladys, and who's the
Yep.
other one?
And they had to do it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because they ain't allowed to stay up that late at the nursing home. So they had to make that early verses
Yeah, I hear you.
with
If
closed
you
caption.
You were watching it. You were watching it, talking about rub those feet, Patty, when she kicked
No,
them shoes off.
oh no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. Patty's corns probably feel like golf balls. I
you
love you,
know,
Patty. Love you, Patty.
do you?
Yeah, I
Do you
love you,
love
Patty.
Patty?
Yeah, when you've been blessed, it's like heaven. And think about that. You in the bed and with Patty and on my own. Like, I don't know. But anyway, shout out to Patty LaBelle. You gonna get your young man, Mr. Eric.
You know what? Hey, we're gonna take a minute, take a commercial break from one of our sponsors. We'll be
Yeah.
right back.
All right. Yeah.
And we are back.
Yeah.
If you were watching the Advocators and saying it seems like they only have one sponsor, mind your business.
Yeah. We gotta get that sponsor some money so the show can get better. We can replace Joe's crackled microphone. So support V&V.
Moving on. Next subject. We have this story, which you brought to the fold, Mr.
Yes.
Trice.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What
So
is
I'll read what they say. New phenomenon for Black women. Is this where the independent movement has led to crippled debt? So, as you know, Black women are the most educated a group that exists in America today. They're getting degrees and they're getting their school and they're getting their education at record levels. They're outperforming any other group, and getting the college degrees. But the flip side of that is that Black women are carrying the hugest college debt of any group. Um, like 2/3 of that of white male, the white male counterparts. And with getting these degrees doesn't necessarily equate to getting jobs. You can have, I know people with MBAs, working in call centers and stuff. So is this the trend that is going to continue, or are Black women saying, okay, wait a minute, this is a bad idea? And I heard somebody say the other day that a college degree for a Black woman is replacing a man. I don't know, you know, Joe, if you agree with that, but where does it go? Like, Black women are discriminated against in the workplace, at least as far as their pay and all that. So they're going to get all these degrees and all this education, and it's leading them to none but crippling debt. And, the argument can be made that it doesn't increase their value in the sexual marketplace. So, you know, women be like, oh, I got the degree, I got the education, I'm making the money that makes me, suitable to become somebody's wife. But really, men don't care about that for real. They don't really care about degrees or what you have, or how much money you make. They want to know if you're feminine and cooperative. So, with this being a problem, another problem added to the Black community, because we all been told that we need to go to school, get our degrees, but it's not translating to anything. Black wealth is staggering. And to me, if I was on the market and I come across a woman I like, and she's $200,000 in college debt, that's gonna make me be apprehensive about, okay, if you marry this woman, you're kind of taking on her debt too. And these payments for student loans, we all pay them back. You owe 250,000 that I've heard some people owe. That payment's like a mortgage every month. So would you want to marry a woman who is this much in debt? And even though she has a degree, she's making 50, 60,000. I don't know. I'm not an advocate of this. I think something needs to be done. We need to rethink, um, you know, the the pressure society puts on black women. And does that mean that black men have to step up? Does it mean that black women have to reevaluate? I don't know.
Well, I would say I am an advocate of education, uh, furthering one's education beyond high school. And when you say you don't know if it adds to their sexual value, in their attractiveness in terms of being a mate,
Right,
I think that was the main point.
right, right.
I have to say that that's probably true for a lot of people. I know some people, I know some men who prefer an intelligent woman, an educated woman who can have a conversation about things beyond what her best friend and her best friend's man is doing
Mm.
and what her cousin did to his brother, yeah, or
But
random nonsense.
yeah, you don't need a college education for that.
No, you don't need a college education to have those conversations. True. That's my whole point. I don't want to have those conversations. I'm not really the kind of person that wants to have a conversation about somebody I don't even know.
Right.
But I'd like to talk about what's going on in the news, what's going on in politics, and have somebody tell me something or present something to me that's objective and not necessarily in agreement with what you know I initially thought. Something that makes me pause for thought. And usually I find that in educated women.
Mm.
So for me, it's a positive. But that debt, going back to the main point of things, that debt that they accrue, it can pay off. It's about how you leverage what you get when you go to school. Now, is it necessary to be successful to go to college? Is it necessary to go to college to be successful? Absolutely not. But you have to have a mind state. You have to have the personality traits necessary to help you succeed without those degrees. Some places, some jobs, you can't get through the door without either the degree or the network that the degree brought you. So you graduate from a particular university, and that university has hundreds of thousands of graduates over the course of however many decades or centuries. Well, that is your network. And sometimes that matters a lot because we all know in many cases, it's not even what you know, it's who you know.
Like I said, I think that I think there's a couple of problems here. The mounting debt. Um, there's a lot of degrees out there that just frankly are outdated. You're probably not going to get a job in. Um, and frankly, a lot of people aren't clear on the career path when they go to college. They might, think they want to do one thing, but when they, in their junior year, they want to switch up. So, it's back and forth. The economy changes. Now, what doesn't change is that the STEM degrees are going to put you in your best positions. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. Um, Anything else is a gamble. From what I understand, women don't really like to get the STEM degrees. It's just not an industry, and maybe because it's male dominated, there's no interest in it. I don't know. We both work in IT. There's not a lot of women in IT. It's not because they can't do the job. It's just I think they're just not pushed that way or not interested in it. And we do need some women in IT because anyway, but
Absolutely. No, I agree with you.
yeah,
But the thing is, with IT, it depending on where you are in IT, it takes a specific way of thinking in order to succeed doing what you do. Like
yeah. But
you're in IT. What do you do? networking, database administration.
Yeah.
It takes a certain type of mindset to do that. I'm a software developer. That is a very specific type of mindset that one has to be in order to be a successful developer.
Right.
It's but there are other areas that branch out from being in STEM studies that a direction that one can choose.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's medicine, there's aeronautics, engineering, so, and also one of the points you had made about the student loan debt and how black women over the course of time, and I read the article. I think it said after 12 years, white man's loan amount is usually reduced by about 44%,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a black woman's debt loan debt has increased
Mm-hmm.
by 13% due to interest and compound interest, what
Yep.
have you, and
Yep.
the black man 11%. Well, one advantage that white people have is a lot of their parents help them pay for college.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I
And that's
mean,
a huge deal.
right. And with that being said, though, black women are coming from backgrounds where they don't have privilege. Would we be better served than instead of sending all of our children to college, thinking about spending that money in more creative ways, entrepreneurship, getting certifications and vocational type stuff that's not traditional. You just go to college for 4 years. Um, you know, $200,000 in debt that can carry through your whole working life, especially if you're just making payments. If you're not aggressively attacking this debt, that's just an Achilles heel on your back. And there's nothing guaranteed with these jobs. We both worked in
True.
corporate America. You can get them today, they be gone tomorrow, and you might be getting $100,000 salary this year, but your next opportunity, it they might put you down to 70 and you just can't get back to that six-figure income. It's just so many variables in this. And to keep going to college and to be in so much debt collectively as a group, something has to change. We have to, um, like I said, what
Here's the thing.
what is the solution?
The solution is utilizing that education, maximizing that education. So, one of the things that you talked about is getting a job that allows you to pay that student debt off.
Right. Which is
Well,
no
you
guarantee.
you received an education. Why get an education only to take the tools you've been equipped with and use them to make somebody else rich? This is a country that was built on slave labor and ingenuity. What happened to that ingenuity? A lot of us, well, our parents,
Hmm.
your parents, my parents, grandparents, get a job, do something, get a vocation. My grandfather told me to take up plumbing while I was 9 months away from graduating with a CIS degree, because that was the mindset of his generation.
Yeah.
So I don't knock it, but times change. We need to adapt. You get an education, find a way to leverage it and maximize it. Don't just, well, they won't give me a job. They won't give me a job. I don't know what to do.
I mean, it's
Do
easier said than done. I mean, you come up in a system where it's kind of robotic. This is the path you take, and deviating from that path is shunned upon. So the mindset is do good in school, do good in school. You go to college, get your degree, get a job. That is just not the roadmap anymore. So what can you do against that? We're not taught to think outside the box, and for whatever reason, we're not taught to think outside the box because the schools ain't teaching us to think outside the box. Our parents are not teaching us to think outside the box because they went that same path. They went to school, got their job, and they worked for 30 years, 40 years, or whatever till they retire. So
Okay. So we're not taught to think outside the box, but that doesn't make the education that we receive any less worth it. It's just we're not maximizing the opportunity. If I give you a hammer and you never use it to drive a nail, unless somebody hires you to use that hammer to drive a nail, then why have the hammer?
Okay, I mean, you saying maximize it like it's the easy thing. So if I got an MBA and I've been trained to go run somebody's company, but I never get that opportunity to get my foot in the door, then how can I maximize it? I'm already
Nothing
trying
worth
to.
having comes easy. If you have an MBA and you know how to run a business, because I believe that's what it's supposed to teach you. If you know how to run a business, find the business that you can build and run it.
But I
I
can't
wish I
because I'm
wish I had that skill set.
because I'm $200,000 in debt. I need to make these payments now, or I live where the rent is terrible. I got bills. I don't have time to build a business from scratch because I invested every penny I have into this education, this piece of paper.
That loan is not going anywhere.
Right? It
It's
can
not
ruin
going
your credit.
anywhere.
And if you got bad credit, take it from me. If you got bad credit, it's very hard to start a business because you're going to need credit to get some of the things that you need to start a business. So it's a double-edged
There,
sword.
where there is a will, there is a way. So I get what you're saying, but if you have the will, you have the desire, there is a way. I have to believe that because it's a path that I'm following. You know, I build software. I don't just build software for billion-dollar companies. I build it for myself as well. So, yeah, I'm speaking from someone who is attempting to practice what I preach.
And let's keep it dead ass real. I got student loans. I got kids I got to take care of. I'm a single mom. I don't have time to build a business from scratch. And hey, I'm a business owner. Sometimes
Hey, all I'm hearing is excuses.
14, 16 hour days. But I'm
We
just saying,
yeah,
you say, I mean, you say, you need to go and maximize it. It ain't that easy for some people. Some people
it's
are not
not
built to
going to
be
be easy.
entrepreneurs. They're built to work for people.
It's not going to be easy. We know this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, but everything hasn't been invented. Every process hasn't been recreated. So there is opportunity within the universe for us to take something. Here's the thing. If some boys can stand outside an empty parking lot, riding a skateboard, and then turn it into a multi-million dollar, named multi-billion dollar industry, riding a skateboard, we should be able to money doing anything.
But you're talking about the few amongst many. I mean,
They
yeah, I mean,
created a billion-dollar industry while everybody was telling them, hey, stop skating around in that parking lot with
but
your long
they
hair
wasn't
and
in
your
student
dirty
debt.
clothes.
They wasn't in student loan debt. And just from your own admission that the skateboard people were white and they had a little privilege. I think that this is a crisis. This is a crisis for the black community. And you say pull yourself up on your bootstraps, but it's just not that easy. I think that the mindset that the independent woman needs to die. The mindset
Well,
is find your man, get married, and build community, build a family. This I'm independent, but hey, I know a lot of 40-year-old women single and out here struggling. They got their degrees, they make the money, but they are lonely as F.
yeah, but that's for completely different reasons.
Nah, it's the
I'm gonna start calling
educated.
you the Black Fred Flintstone.
No,
Look,
it's
so
education. I'm this, I'm that.
get in that
I'm telling
kitchen
you.
and cook me some
Yeah,
food,
cook
woman.
me some. No, I'm not saying you gotta be subservient or barefoot and pregnant, but you know, the we've been around the college educated sisters, man. It's a different mind state. They think we care about their degrees. We don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that that's true. And I spent a lot of time around a lot of educated, specifically educated black women. I don't know if that's true. I don't know that they care whether or not we care about their degrees. Now, I will say one thing. I know I have met a lot of women from an HBCU or two, and they are extremely proud of their education. And if you didn't graduate from that HBCU, they don't really have time to talk to you.
Mm,
The conversations have literally been, so what year did you come out? I didn't go to that school.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, how
And be
you
like,
doing?
hey, girl, I'm gonna buy me another drink, but you can't because you got student loan payments due at the end of the month. Holla.
Yeah.
Uh
All right. Well, this next topic kind of goes hand in hand with that one. And I'm actually looking forward to this one. So there's a lot of talk about Dr. Seuss right now because this is National Reading Month.
oh. I can
Yeah,
read,
did you
mama.
know
I
that?
can read. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
or,
got a kid. Of
yeah,
course, I heard about it. I got a kid.
yeah. So no, I'm talking about the National Reading Month.
Yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely.
anyway, so the National Education Association has a sponsored event, Read Across America Day. And since 1997, 1998 was their first event, but since 1997, they've been partnered with the Seuss Company of Dr. Seuss. And the contract ran out in 2017. And this year, they announced that that was no longer going to be a part of their the books, the list of books that they encourage children to read. And what was said, let's see, let's see, these books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Dr. Seuss Enterprises, that's what they said to Associated Press. Ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families. So there's a lot of dissidence between the assimilationists and the anti assimilationists. And what I'm talking about is, for instance, a woman named Mary McNamara. Now, she's a culture columnist, a critic for the Los Angeles Times. She was a television critic, senior culture editor, and a Pulitzer Prize winner in 2015. And she wrote an article that I'm going to attempt to tag to this video when it's over uh, for the LA Times. Really good article. It's a great read. But she basically says cancer culture has officially been promoted to outlaw culture. And the credit to this upgrade belongs to Representative Kevin McCarthy, who is a right wing lunatic out of Bakersfield. And I use the term lunatic loosely. But he argued against the leftist measure to expand voting rights by declaring first they outlaw, and this is a quote, first they outlaw Dr. Seuss, and then they want to tell us what to say. So he's trying to make an association between the Democrats trying to control or expand, rather, voter rights and the cancellation, if you will, of Dr. Seuss, who, by the way, hasn't been canceled, but the Seuss Company has decided to remove 6 books from the collection of books that they sell, deeming them offensive to certain peoples, primarily Eastern people and Black people, and also disproportionately uh, displaying these people in this book or in their books. So that's the gist of it. But with regard to this canceling of Dr. Seuss, what are your thoughts?
I say this. let's just say America is saturated with imagery that is um, that is negative towards black people. It's just part of the culture. It's ingrained. I'm sure there's a lot more things that can change that paint black people in a negative light. So when the Jim Crow was going on and you had blackface and all that, it was in the cartoons, it was in the literature, it was on TV, and I'm sure some of that stuff has spilled in into 2020 because it's gone unchecked for so long. It's so subtle that that group of people who knew exactly what it meant had died off, and as the younger generation came in, the the images had a little less meaning because they didn't understand what was going on. Just like you and I watch Jordan play, and we know that Jordan's the best player ever. But whoever came behind that thinks LeBron is better than Jordan, um, and he is in a few regards. But you see how things get watered down. They didn't experience the racism that we experienced, our parents experienced, our grandparents experienced. So it gets watered down. Now society becomes a little more civilized, and for it to catch up to remove some books. I'm looking at these pictures, and some of this is troubling. This is literally blackface, pink lip, Jim Crow, minstrel imagery right here. So yeah, I think they should remove this, especially if they want to be inclusive and racially sensitive. I'm surprised it lasts this long. If you look at the top picture, oh my God, it's some pickaninny jigaboos riding on elephants. Come on now,
Oh,
come on now, Doctor.
I've got some more for you. That lower one is
Yeah.
actually part of a comic. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's part of a comic. So I'm gonna let you take that in for a moment while I go grab another image or two.
Yeah.
And
So
but
yeah.
go ahead, keep
and,
talking.
and I mean, this is American culture. You can act like we're past racism. This is culture. And there's some people that want to protect this. It's like this is the way we grew up. This doesn't mean nothing. It means something else. Like the Confederate flag, we still having that fight to this day. Everybody and their mama know what the Confederate flag represents and what it stands for, and you still have people and some black people. Or it's just heritage that they're trying to bring back. They're mad they lost the Civil War. They want to come back. They want slaves again. They want to subjugate any race and be on the top and step on people and do things, making America great again. Because I don't know when America was great, not for us.
Now, who are they? Just for clarity.
Um, the establishment, the white supremacist order, the the people that want to keep things how they are, so a certain group of people can stay on top.
So I feel that. Uh, here, here's another one, and there was a study that was done back in 2019. Study from the Conscious Kids Library in the University of California, San Diego researchers. They studied 50 children's books and more than 2,200 characters created over decades by Dr. Seuss. And in that study, they concluded that there were 2,240 human characters, 45 characters of color, which is 2%.
Mhm.
Now, 45 characters of color. 43 have orientalist depictions. Now, that is a quote from USA Today. I pulled that directly out of USA Today. 43 have orientalist depictions. I don't know if that's how the study worded it or USA Today, but I feel like there's some racism in orientalist.
It is politically incorrect to
I'm
refer to somebody as
I'm
Oriental.
almost
Yeah,
certain it is
yeah.
because I looked it up. I looked it up, and Orientalists in the 18th and 19th centuries, the term Orientalist identified a scholar who specialized in the languages and literatures of the Eastern world, which includes Arab, Indian, and Islamic culture. So, just a little side note. I think in their effort to point out some racism, uh, they brought out some racism. And two of those images align with the theme of anti-blackness, according to the study.
This picture you're showing, I don't really get what it is. They're handing Asians TNT coming from Washington to Colorado. I mean, headed looks like to Mexico. I didn't get what that meant, but I'm sure it had some racial undertone.
Waiting for the signal from home
Yeah,
is what it says at the top.
honorable fifth column. Is that something about when Hiroshima happened, World War II?
That's a great question.
Because wasn't Pearl Harbor Hawaii? Hawaii's is off the coast of California, right? Well, actually, it's it's north Canada. So is that what that represented? You know, World War II. I don't know this, and like I said, this is past my time, so it's part of culture. I'd have looked at this picture like, oh, this is weird, and thought nothing about it.
Right. So here's my thing. Yes, he drew some racist depictions, and now you're going to stop selling those books. Oh, and surprise, surprise! Not all of the Dr. Seuss books,
Yeah,
only
just six.
six.
Yeah, just six.
But surprise, surprise. Let's see if I can grab this real quick. According to MSNBC, books shoot to the top
Oh
of
yeah,
Amazon's bestseller list.
yeah. And
So,
actually, those six books are becoming collector's items. Like they are being marked up to ridiculous price. I think I've seen a few that are in the hundreds of dollars. Um, as far and they'll probably reach the thousands once these books become scarce. But a lot of this has to do with people who know how to capitalize on something in the culture that changes. So just like Jordans are hard to get, you got people that buy them so they can resell them later. So I'm sure this has a lot more to do with people getting out to make a buck rather than, oh, I'm so racist that I gotta have these nigger books. I don't.
so here's I've read a lot of posts on this topic, and I've seen where black people make the statement, including Iffy. I somewhat randomly chose her post to include, but she is for the removal of these books from the sale shelves, saying that this is a step towards inclusivity. For me, one, those images, I read Dr. Seuss. I saw some of the images. I remember some of the images, not the comics, but from the books. And they didn't traumatize me.
I remember
Now,
too. I remember the Asians carrying the animal. I remember that book.
yeah, well, yeah, I remember that one too.
Yeah.
I remember the zoo book, but I was never traumatized from these books.
No, because you didn't understand it. It didn't mean what it means as an adult. Absolutely.
Exactly. And those were the times of, that's how they did back then. Now,
But
Mary
but
McNamara,
that is propaganda getting you young. So it is a subconscious um, you know, training, as
and
you will.
people feel that way,
Yeah.
but I don't buy it. So Mary McNamara, she agrees with you, just like Iffy, whose post I shared. Many of these classics, this is Mary, many of these classics were and are tools used intentionally or unconsciously to reinforce stereotypes that have allowed one group to dehumanize and dominate other less powerful and less privileged groups in many ways and for far too long. But the reality is, it wasn't done with these books. These books were for kids. Now, if a parent was reading the book to their child and said, "You see, son, you see how the little African niggers are carrying that little what's a hoosie bird? See, that's exactly how they do. Don't let them get close to your chicken." That's one thing. But if you're just reading the book to the kids looking at the pictures, it is what it is. Is it racist? Absolutely. It's absolutely racist. Remove it from the shelves? I say no. If you really want to do some good, and this is from me to Seuss Enterprises, keep the books on the shelves. And for every dollar that you make from those books, if you really want to do well, create a Black Scholarship Fund. All profits from those books go to a Black College Scholarship Fund or a STEM program specifically for underprivileged children in the urban communities. If you really want to do some good, taking them off the shelves, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. If you remove history, you can't learn from it. So, oh, we're not like this anymore. We're going to spare people's feelings. You want to spare my feelings? Stop shooting young Black boys and Black girls in the streets. Stop letting these cops get away with slamming humans into concrete just because they think that person deserves it. That's how
But
you resolve some
but
real racial issues.
but this is social engineering. That all this putting in a child's mind gets them to the place where we have these bigger issues as adults. I think they should take it off. And yeah, you if you don't know history, you're most certainly you'll repeat it. I agree, but there's another way to teach history rather than subconsciously, social engineering the children when they're able to understand what's going on. We don't have to put it in children's books to make it look all fluffy and sensitive. Say for what it is. Like by the time we got to the fourth, fifth grade, we start learning about wars and stuff in our history books and stuff like that. You could do it the same way. You shouldn't dress it up as something like butterflies and unicorns
I'm
and
not saying
sambos.
dress it up.
I mean, that's
You
pretty
can,
much what it is. It's fun. They're carrying the animal. They ha ya ya ya. I
yep,
mean,
it's an opportunity for Black parents. It's a, you see that, son? You see that depiction right there? Now, this book was written by a man back in the early 1900s,
you're
and
not
this
gonna
is
do
how
that
they
with a
viewed us.
3 and 4 year old as you're reading them a nighttime story. Come
Why
on,
not? That is part of the problem.
nah,
You
you don't.
start when they're young. You
I ain't
start
about
when
to
they're
say.
young.
You see this? You see this pickaninny right here? Man, that's bad. Right before they go to bed. Come on now, you can't do that.
The sooner, hey, children these days grow up so much faster than we realize. They are equipped to absorb information. So explain to them in a well and articulate way will only produce a person who is knowledgeable and articulate.
you can.
I mean, or you can get them some Lil Nas X. You,
I'm not
and
getting. If I know a book has racist imagery, it's just not gonna be in my kids collection,
shoot,
and that's
I
why I
have
advocate for it.
I have pictures in my home of newspaper ads with Negroes on the for sale block. And these are I bought these in South Carolina. They're copies of a newspaper print. And when my son is old enough to comprehend, look, this is what they did.
And that is a great way to teach. It is not in fluffy. It's not with dinosaurs and unicorns. It is what it is. It's reality. It's an actual article and it's on the wall. And that is the way you explain it. You don't mix it in,
Education
you don't
can
mix
come
it
in
in
many
children's,
forms.
children's literature like that. But anyway,
Education can come in many forms, brother.
yeah, I advocate them removing these 6 Dr. Seuss books.
I do not. I want them to stay up so that one, They are reminded of who they are and where they come from. Not ours, but theirs. Mine. This is where you come from.
Well, how do you
This
move forward in society if you keep the imagery around?
the
You can teach
books
history.
aren't making children racist.
It
The
is.
parents are.
It's part of the
No,
steps. It's part of the steps. Every
no.
little
Part of the
subtleties, little
steps.
subconscious.
What was the name of what was the name of the what was the name of the video they made back in the early 1900s where everybody was dressed in blackface or painted in blackface
Shit,
and
that
they
was all
ran
of them.
around raping and what is it?
That was all of them.
No, no, no. There was one in
um,
particular. I'm drawing a blank.
yeah, it's the one that came out with Nate Parker. Um, that he did a remake, but it was about the Haitian Revolution, but it had the same name, and um, I can't think of what
You
it
know
is.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Where these guys in blackface went around raping and killing white women. And that was their propaganda. That wasn't for entertainment. That was for propaganda. The Unfortunately, I'm drawing a blank on articles of names. There's an article on how to uh, make sure that your slave is docile. You know this. We know this.
Birth of a Nation is the
That,
name of the movie.
thank you, Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, Birth of a Nation.
But that is where the indoctrination of this racism comes from. They're not looking at kids aren't looking at Dr. Seuss books and thinking I'm lesser of a person because
No, because they
of
wasn't
that
seeing
character
their
right
image.
there.
Unless you was Asian, it didn't bother you. Unless you were black, that didn't bother you. Now I don't remember the Sambo picking any images, but I definitely remember the little Chinese images, and it's very racist now I look back on it. And I think that molded me as an adult of what I saw when I kind of brushed it off like, oh, that's okay. Orientals, they talk like this, yeah, 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 and it's totally not
It
right.
is inappropriate.
Yeah,
And
so
there's a learning opportunity.
yeah, I learned it too late after I done insulted people. But
But you learned it.
right, eventually as an adult. So that's why I say keep children out of this stuff. Um, we're running over an hour. I actually,
Oh, we sure are.
yeah, yeah, actually got stuff I need to take care of. But hey, another great show. Another great show.
Yeah, I had fun. Good talk. Good talk.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for joining me, JoJo, and
Keno
Keno
in the building.
for the Advocators. We do this every Friday, right now, 10 o'clock Eastern Time.
Yeah, yeah.
So say that again.
I said yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said PM, which I guess I need to add. Otherwise, some people will be, oh, I tuned in the morning. And
uh,
even though every episode he has watched has been at night, you know what I'm talking to.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
thanks for joining us on another episode of The Advocators.
yeah,
Hope
man.
you enjoyed it. Keno, have a great weekend.
You too, my brother.
Appreciate you. We'll talk.